chickies, welcome to the Fully Booked Penguin channel. I am Hannah and today we are doing my July TBR. So it's been 2 weeks since you last saw me. I skipped last week's video because honestly, low energy, finally just zero inspiration. I was reading books, but not in a way that would facilitate the uploading of a video. So we are here today to do my TBR for July. June is going okay. I should get some of them done. That's all I'm gonna say. You'll have to watch the wrap up to see if I succeeded in getting to my June TBR. But I believe we're still going with 8 books each time, one of which is going to be from our Wheel of Doom or Peace, i.e. the 10 before the end that me and my friend have made. Now with this wheel, if I do spin a book that we've already read, then we will move on to the next spin. So let's see, we've been pretty lucky with the first spins, I think. But we'll see how we go. So, Wheel of Doom or Peace. There's a total of 10 books on here. And we have read... we have our first spin of the video. That is going to be... Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint Volume 2. Now, this is one where I have technically already read Volume 2. This was it. I chose it for a different TBR and read it, and then I realized, oh, wait a second, that's on my Wheel of Doom or Peace. However, fortunately for us, I did recently get in the next volume. It got released, so I do have it. So instead of 2, we're going with number 3. So Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint is a lit RPG, sort of apocalyptic world where our main character, he has read a web novel. However, once he finishes the web novel, the world starts at the beginning of the book. The world warps and the alien goblin things attack Earth, as it did in the novel. So with his knowledge from the web novel series, he begins to attack dungeons and gather a few allies and honestly try to have this antagonistic sort of back and forth with the main character of the web series. So it is rather gruesome. It's like a dark sci-fi kind of situation. It is a light novel series. So there's a lot of books in the series and we're up to, number 3. And the series is by singNsong, who are a couple, I believe. And so it is a little gruesome at stages because the goblins are using them for sport. Pretty much is the thing. And a lot of that sport requires murdering each other. But because our main character knows the future, he can keep his people safe. And the system does seem to show up the worst in people. So a lot of the people that get destroyed, they're not exactly angels. Let's just put it that way. It shows the twisted nature of many humans. So we are, in number 3. I did like Volume 2 more than Volume 1. Volume 1 was setting the scene and there was a lot of dark themes. Whereas, as we get on, we kind of just, it warps, which is probably a terrible thing to happen, but perception of the world warps into a more game-style sort of scenario. It's one of those scenarios where probably the good guys aren't good guys and all that sort of thing, but we're making our way through. And they're getting sponsored by the goblin viewers, or the constellations as they call them. So we shall see where our lad leads us next. But the good guys are good going at this point in time, even though each of them, as you can imagine, slowly going a little insane. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But yeah, so that is our first book on the list, is Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint, Volume 3. Alrighty, we have 7 more books to go, so we're just going to spin up our TBR prompt wheel and go from there. Hopefully we have some Making good choices. Making good choices. 400 plus pages. Please be 400 plus pages. It is almost 500 pages. Technically, I am finishing the first Lord of the Mysteries this month, so I could move on to the second. This one is also 504 pages. But do I want to tackle it straight after the other one? Valley of Dragons, The Secrets of Ormdale, Book 5 by Christina Bear. It is one that I want to finish this year, so we should tackle this one at some point. Otherwise, as I said last month, I did start the Lord of Mysteries series, and I think I was going to try and get through the first volume, which is 3 books, which is Lord of Mysteries, The Clown. So this is part 2. There are 3 parts. I am reading / finished the first part. So I could jump right back into here. I do feel like this is going to end up on a sad note at the end of this volume collection. Continue or finish a series. I think I'm going to continue on with the Lord of Mysteries series by Cuttlefish That Loves Diving. This is a light novel series. It is steampunk, sort of alternate reality, dark mystery, or gritty mystery. It's hard to explain because it covers a lot of different things, and we are following a character that comes from the real world and ends up in this alternate, like completely different, but then it's got snaps from the real world because he's not the only one that has come from the real world. There's a lot of back and forth, a lot of dark things happening. The only thing about this is it takes a lot of inspirations. I thought it was going to do more like Catholic churchy kind of Christianity themes, but really it just smooshes religions together and uses terms from different things. But it's got a lot of different churches and different like organizations, but the churches are more organizations, and then they've got these magic powers or magic sequences that they have to study in order to gain powers to defeat like evil spirits and that sort of thing. So it is a little outside of my usual go-to, but as I say, I'm giving it a try, and I am studying it with more a Christian lens. So there have been bits where I was like, what's going on there? But I feel it's good for discussion. It's a good discussion point. It hasn't been too creepy so far, but I'm not guaranteeing that it won't get creepier as we go on. But as I say, I'm going to get through the whole first volume and then make my judgments on how it sits with me. I do realise we are now at 2 light novels, so from now on we cannot continue on with the light novel track. Okay? No more light novels for me. 400 plus. What a time. What a time. Alright, book number 3 is going to be... I wish this wheel would get to the result a little quicker, because it just kind of sits there for 12 years until it shows the result. Free choice. I don't really want a free choice. If I get to the 8th book and I really feel like a free choice, we'll just go with the free choice. But at this point in time, not really feeling like a free choice. I need help to decide, is what I'm trying. I'm being indecisive. Cover with a random colour. Here we go. Our random colour is going to be... like a bright blue or a lemony colour. I feel like we've had these colours before. That is we're not up to that book though. Technically, book 2, book 3. They match. They match the theme. But we'd start with, of course, book 2. It's not quite a match for the blue. But that's just too perfect for me that they match. So we're going to go with The Villainess is a Marionette by Manggle, and the original story is by Hanirim. So there you go. This is a manhwa. We are following Kayena, who is a princess. She's not really in the good books with her father, the emperor, or whatever he is, king. And she's got a twisted brother. I can't remember if this is one where she's an outside girl going into a story, or whether it's a time reversal one. But She knows what the future will hold, in which case her brother betrays her. She ends up dead because she supports him in becoming emperor, and then, well, she's killed for it. Anyway, so she's trying to manipulate everyone so that she can live this time, is pretty much what's going on. And this lad here, he's around. I think he's a duke. They usually are dukes. I can't remember. I may have to refresh with book 1 first and then go into book 2, because the memory ain't memorying. Lord Ruffalo, although he did just blushy. Oh? Anyway, she's trying to win over things so she doesn't die, as they usually are in these things, but yeah, she was manipulated in her first timeline, or in the original story. So that is where we're at. We're hoping her brother isn't creepy in this one. He was starting to get a little creepy in the first, so we'll see how it goes. But yes, that's where we're up to in the Villainess, Volume 2. A fantasy romance manhwa. That's gonna go on the pile. They're all translated work currently. Do I care about that? No. And if you have a problem with that? Alright, our 4th book is prompt is going to be for this day. Book starting with a random letter of the alphabet. Alright, I have the wheel is right here, ready to go, which is good fun. F. F is for friends who do things together, U is for you and me. I don't know why I'm looking that way. Father, I don't want this marriage. Want to read. Let's see if there's any F's in our want to read pile. Are we counting the as the first thing, or should we do like the library system where they go from the next one? I think we're going to go with the system where you cut off the in front of it. So I'm going to choose The Fur Trader's Lady by Gabrielle Meyer. It is book 1 in the Ladies of the Wilderness series. It is a historical Christian fiction. To escape her guardian's plans to marry her, Lady Charlotte Fairfax steals away to Montreal to locate Reed McCoy, a fur trader who owes her fiancé a debt for saving his life. Okay? Even though European women are forbidden from entering the interior, she is desperate to get to her fiancé deep within the northwestern wilderness. Wait, and then there are 3 guys? The Guardian, her fiancé, and then Reed McCoy. Is that what I'm picking up? Reed McCoy has worked hard for 15 years to become a shareholder in the Northwest Company and is on the brink of realizing that goal. Taking Charlotte into the interior will not only put her life at risk, but it could also jeopardize his dreams. Honor-bound to repay his debt, his only option is to have Charlotte dress as a man and enter as his assistant clerk. With Charlotte's guardian close on their trail, and a personal rival willing to do anything to keep Reed from becoming a shareholder, they will embark on an epic journey that will test not only their strength and endurance, but their hearts as well. Let's just hope their fiancé is dead, eh? I don't think unless the fiancé is dead. But in which case, why would she be going to him? We shall have to see. I'm very strict on the line there. You have to read a book in order to know what goes on in a book. So we'll pen to the judgment for now. I know a lot of people like Gabrielle Meyer's work, so we're going to give it a chance. There we go. That is our 4th book. Now on to book 5. Well, the prompt for it. Something popular that you haven't read. I don't think anything on here is really popular that I haven't read. The thing is, I have a lot of series. Go back to the thing over here. Is there anything on my want to read list that is considered popular? I could read Agatha Christie. I know that's popular. I could read The Silver Chair, the Narnia book, but technically I have read that one before. So I might go with Agatha Christie's The Murder of Roger Ackroyd. Agatha Christie. Alright. The peaceful English village of King Abbott is stunned. The widow Ferrars dies from an overdose of Venerol. Not 24 hours later, Roger Ackroyd, the man she had planned to marry, is murdered. It is a baffling case involving blackmail and death that taxes Hercule Poirot's little grey cells before he reaches one of the most startling conclusions of his career. Oh my. Technically, this is book 4 in the Hercule Poirot series. It is, of course, a murder mystery. So, and I will see if I can figure out the mystery, or whether the mystery figures out me. Alright, prompt number 6 is going to be this one right here. A sad book. Let's get ready to cry, everyone. Okay. This one does have war in it. Middle grade historical fiction. But I still cry, okay? And that is book 3, I think, of the Charlotte Years, which is part of the Little House prequels. And the title is On Tide Mill Lane by Melissa Wiley. So we are following Charlotte, who is the grandmother of Laura Ingalls Wilder. It is winter. They're making stuff, helping her mother mind a baby. But the war is going on. And Charlotte is worried about Will, who is marching north with the militia. We're going to choose that one because it is a middle grade and it will be a simple little pick for us amongst all these other books. It's Laura Ingalls' grandmother. Which will be fascinating. And it'll probably be sad because it's got war in it. And people going off to war. Sad. Okay. Our 7th prompt is going to be on the list. Random genre wheel. Here we go. A random genre on the random genre wheel is going to be hopefully something unique. Something never seen before. A classic. Well, they say 3 holes in the ground. I do need to read Sense and Sensibility. Is Anne of Green Gables considered a classic? I don't think it's old enough to be quite a classic, but in today's world, it probably is. Yes, Anne of Green Gables series is widely considered a literary classic and a beloved staple. We are going to go with Anne of Ingleside by L.M.Montgomery. We're slowly making our way through the Anne series. Yes, so we have Anne of Ingleside, then Rainbow Valley, and then Rilla of Ingleside. In this one, I believe we're following Anne, of course, but she is married, she's grown up, she has kids, and so we're half following her family life as well as other little adventures, misunderstandings, scrapes. Gilbert has an insufferable aunt. Ooh, I never knew Gilbert had an aunt. There we go. He has a random aunt show up. Oh my... Guys, here's the tea. Despite the endless demands on her time, Anne can think of no place she'd rather be than her beloved home, Ingleside. At least not until the day she begins to imagine that her cherished Gilbert doesn't love her anymore. Gilbert, come get your wife. Oh my gosh. Gilly. Gil, you need to come love on your wife. Okay. We are going with Anne of Ingleside. Just so I can... Now my day is ruined. My month overturned. I must find out if Gilbert still loves Anne. I'm about to cry. Okay. Maybe I should have done that as the sad book. That sounds as sad as anything. Alright, our final prompt for our July TBR is going to be... favorite cover. Honestly, all my covers are pretty. I do have this new book. It's a new one. My friend bought it for me. So thank you to her. And it is by Amy May Baxter. I believe it's a cozy fantasy. Margot is bored. It's the summer before she graduates and she has no idea where her life is going. When she gets locked out and checks into a lovely B&B, Margot is greeted by surprisingly handsome receptionist Finn. Okay, here's my thing. Do you go into a place expecting ugly people? I'm never surprised by a handsome or good-looking person being in any place. So how are they surprisingly handsome? Like, I'd be surprised that they're handsome if I've got contact with them beforehand and they have a terrible, like, personality. But then I probably wouldn't consider them handsome. For me, personality and character equate to looks. It's what's within that counts. Anyway, surprisingly handsome, yes. Anyway, Margot soon suspects that it's all too perfect and that magic is in the air. Oh. And she's fairly sure that the other guest is a fairy princess. Oh. Is this a B&B for magical beings? But Margot doesn't have a magical bone in her body. So what is she doing there? Fascinating. I wonder if it's a romance. All I know is that it's like a cozy fantasy. So we are going to choose for a favourite cover the Between Worlds B&B, which is a little different from everything else, so it's good. We've got some variety, and it has 282 pages. Cozy fantasy all the way. Alright. Here's our pile. Alrighty, let's go through our stack, shall we? First up, we have singNsong's Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint Volume 3, which is a lit RPG, apocalyptic, dark mystery fantasy. There you go. Sci-fi, maybe? Next, we have Lord of Mysteries, The Clown Part 2. And it is by Cuttlefish that loves diving. And it is a dark mystery, steampunk-esque. I really should look up the technical terms. Serious? Then we have The Villainess is a Marionette by Manggle and Hanirim. This is volume 2, and it is a fantasy romance manhwa. Next we have The Fur Trader's Lady by Gabrielle Meyer, which is a historical Christian fiction. Then we have The Murder of Roger Ackroyd by Agatha Christie. It is a murder mystery. Then we have On Tide Mill Lane by Melissa Wiley, which is a middle grade historical fiction. Then we have Anne of Ingleside by L.M.Montgomery, which is a historical fiction. And it is a classic. Googled it. Then we have The Between Worlds B&B by Amy May Baxter, and this is a cozy fantasy. So there's our stack, there's our plans. We've got a bit of a mixed bag here, to be honest. So that is our wrap on my July TBR. Let me know what you're planning to read, and I shall see you all in the next video. And until then, peace.
T26